in this video, in this video tutorial, I will explain about reporter utility object. This is what I will be explaining in this video. I will also explain the prerequisite, what we should know to understand a reporter utility object, as well as I will give hands-on example of all the methods and properties this object has. So that is what this video will be containing. And before I start the actual in-detail video, I want to talk about myself. So my name is MD Shahajada Imran. I also have a nickname that is Limon, Limon. So that's about myself. Now I will go in detail video explanation. So before I explain what is reporter utility object, we need to know two things: what is utility object and what is report. UFT run result or report. So UFT run result means when we run UFT script, when the execution ends, at the end we see the result, how the execution happened. We could have pass result or fail result or warning result, or just execution ends without any result. So there are 4 different types of results that we can have after executing one automation script, one UFT automation script. So what are the different types of UFT run results? So there are 2 types of run results: built-in and user-defined. Built-in has 2 kinds: HTML report and run results viewer report. I give hands-on example. So if I go to tools and option and run session, and I can see there are 2 options: HTML report and run results viewer report. So there are 2 reports. These 2 are built in. These 2 comes with the tool, comes with the UFT tool. So this is a built-in tool, built-in report. So there are 2 types of built-in report: HTML report. Another one is run result viewer report. Now there are also user-defined report. That means I, as an automation engineer, I will be creating a report using UFT without or along with this tool. So I gave an example on this another tutorial in my video list about how we can create a user-defined report or user-defined test execution result report. So what we need to understand here, that there are 2 types of report: built-in and user-defined. And built-in has 2 kinds: HTML and run result viewer report. Now that I have showed hands-on example on built-in, I showed here. I show one more time. Tools, option, run. There are 2 types of built-in report. Built-in report. There are 2 types of report. So I can mark this that I have showed hands-on. So I showed this hands-on, and now we know there are 2 types of report: built-in and user-defined. Built-in also has 2 kinds. Now what are utility object? These are prerequisites. Before I start explaining reporter utility object, we need to understand this prerequisite. We need to understand what are the different types of report, and what are the different types of built-in report, and also what are the utility objects. So if I go to the object model reference, this is object model reference. If I go to the object model reference, I can see there are so many different types of objects. It also has report utility object. If I click here, I can see there are different types of utility objects. All of these are utility objects. It also has reporter utility object. So that is what I will be explaining in this video. So if I go to UFT for the example, we could have test object that we store in the object repository, either in local or shared object repository. We could also have object that we create using set keyword, like set my FSO equal to create object scripting dot file system object Now if I say my FSO and put dot, I can see all the available methods and properties. So this could be test object, this could be not test object, and we use set keyword. But for utility object, we don't need to use set keyword. We just directly use the name. For example, there are so many utility objects. If I want to use any one, for example the first one, or a data table, let's say data table object, I just write here data table here, data table and dot, and I can see all the available methods and properties of this object. So there is no need to use set keyword. There is no need to use this set keyword. So we could have object in the object repository, or we could have object in the editor using set keyword. But for utility object, we don't need to use set keyword. We can directly use the utility object name and then use the methods and properties of that object. So that is utility object. So utility object is an object that provided by UFT to help testers to do the scripting easily. So that is the definition of utility object. So I gave the definition. I also showed here in the UFT. So now I can mark this one as that I have showed hands-on what are utility objects. I also showed in the object model reference document. This is a online document. It comes with this URL. It's an online document. It comes with this URL. It's an online document. This document also showed all the documentation. So now I can mark this one that I have explained. This color means I have explained. Now what is a reporter utility object? So its definition is a reporter is an utility object that can be used to send or retrieve information to or from built-in UFT Run result report. So there are two built-in, either HTML or Run result viewer report. So this utility object, reporter utility object, can be used to send information to either one of these two, or send information to this. It doesn't matter how we see. We can see the report in HTML or we can see the report in Run result viewer report. There are two formats that we can see the execution automation script execution result. We can see in two different formats, but this reporter utility object will send information there. So we can send information there or read or receive information from here. So that is a reporter utility object. So a reporter is an utility object that can be used to send. So we can send information in the built-in. So we can send information here, or retrieve or read or receive information from here. So to here or from here. So it has 3 properties and 4 methods. To access utility object, we just write the name. So reporter, I just write the name. If I put dot, I can see all the methods and properties. So it has 4 methods, 1, 2, 3, 4 methods and 3 properties, 1, 2, 3. So it has a total 7 methods and properties, 4 methods and 3 properties. So I also gave the definition, also showed how we can access just by writing the name. I just wrote the name, and I didn't use set keyword, or I didn't do anything else. I just wrote the name, and that's how we access utility object. And once I put the dot, I can also access all the available methods and properties. So this is also I have explained hands-on. So I changed the color that I have explained. Now, what are different types of report event? So after an automation script execution, when the automation script execution ends, we can have 4 event. Our automation script can be pass, can be fail, can be just execution ends without any result, without pass or fail, or can be execution ends with an warning. So there are 4 different types of event. Reported event we could have: pass, fail, just execution ends, no result, or execution ends with an warning. So this is information that we need to know before we go hands-on example for this methods and properties. So there are total 7 methods and properties. I have showed here also. There are total 7. So I will be giving now that I have explained all the prerequisite, I will be explaining hands-on example. I will be explaining hands-on example. So first one is add run information. This is, and so I will give you hands-on example. So it's a add run information. I choose that is it a method or property? So it's a method. So I choose this method, and I'll be giving, it says I'll be giving add custom information to the HTML run results report. So we know there are 2 types of report. I just give a report. Say my name is MD Shahajada Imran. MD Shahajada Imran. That is my name. So this is a plain sentence. I just wrote a sentence, and I want this sentence to be displayed in the built-in report. So there are 2 types of built-in report, and this one is only applicable in HTML report. Only applicable in HTML report. It's only applicable to HTML report. If you go here and I click here, it's here also it says HTML report only. HTML report. If I go to the documentation, object model reference documentation, here also it says only it's applicable on HTML report. We have 2 types. So there are 2 forms that we can have in the built-in reports: HTML and run result viewer report, and this one is only applicable in HTML report. So before I run, I will be choosing HTML report. Go run result, and this one is selected now, so I'll be choosing HTML report. Click on OK. Now I'll be running it. So once I run, once the execution ends, I will see this sentence in the report. So I'm running it. the wrong number of arguments with invalid property arguments. Maybe because of the first bracket. I remove the first bracket because once I use first bracket when it returns something and I stored that in a variable, so that is what I'm not doing. So I will first bracket not required, I guess. Wrong number of arguments with invalid property. Okay, let me pause the video. So this method accepts two input arguments, 1 and 2. So I gave two string input arguments. If I run it now, previously I tried with one input argument, but it will actually take two input arguments, so I give two input arguments. Now I will be running it. I run it. So this is HTML report. If I pull down here, it says name. My name is MD Shahajada Imran. So this is an information that I pass into the HTML report. So it's only applicable to the HTML report. It's only applicable HTML report only. This method is only applicable to HTML report only. And I gave hands-on example. It takes two input arguments. This is the first input argument. This is the second input argument. And how we navigate there, if I run it again, execution ends. This is the HTML report displayed. Initially I will not be able to see, so I have to dig through here. I will be clicking on show more, and then notes and run information. So this was add run information. So this is where we see run information. So I'll be clicking on here and I'll be seeing this, and this is only applicable to HTML reports. If the report is generated in a run results viewer, it's generated in this format, then it will not be available in that report. So because this is only applicable to HTML report, and I gave hands-on example. So now I can mark this one, this color. This color means I gave hands-on example in this tutorial. Then report path. Path is where the report will be stored. So this is this is a report path. This is a property. It will return the path. So I will say, so path I will store in a variable output. So this is a variable where I will be storing the path. Now I will be displaying in the message box. So I'm retrieving information from the report, storing in this variable, and displaying in the message box. If I run it, it is displaying the path. So this is the path where the results are stored. So click on OK. So I give also hands-on example of this one, report path. This is a property that returns the path, and I showed that this returns path is stored in this variable, and then this variable is used in the message box, so that in the message box we can see the fail. So I have showed hands-on example of this one, and also change the color to blue. Now I will be using report event, Reporter.reportEvent. So previously I said there are 4 events: pass, fail, done, and warning. There are 4 events: pass, fail, done, and warning. So this is what I will be giving hands-on example. Pass means make pass. Pass means this is 0, 1. It also has a reference number. Pass means 0. Fail means 1. Done means 2, and warning means 3. If I check in the document, report event, click here. So 0 means pass, 1 means fail, 2 means done, and 3 means warning. Now I will give hands-on example. So there are 4 events. I will give example of each one. Reporter.report event. Now I will choose make pass and comma, and it says this is the status, event status that I gave. This is comma, and then I also have to put 2 more input arguments. This one and this one must, and this one optional. So I will not be putting the optional one, but I must use these 2. So the second one I will be putting UFT tutorial, double quote, comma. Now it is asking for detail. Tutorial is given by my name. So now if I run it, I will see make pass in the result. So this line, this method, report event method, will send pass status or pass event to the report. So now I will be running it. It gave the report. It gave the pass report. Now if I change to fail, make fail, I'll be changing to make fail. So it will give fail report in the so I'll be choosing make fail this time. If I run it, it will display fail report. It displayed fail report. It's failed. It's fail one time. It's failed. This symbol means failed. Now it's in the HTML report. There are 2 reports I said earlier. There are 2 formats we can see the report. One is HTML format and run results viewer format. So I showed pass and fail in HTML format. So there are 4 events. The other 2 I will show in run results viewer format. So I'll be changing to the format in run results viewer. So run results viewer format. I changed the format. I clicked on OK, and now I will be choosing done. Now if I run it, I will see the result, automation script execution result, in run result viewer format, and there I will see this make done. Instead of pass or fail, it will say the automation script execution just done. So I run it. It will open the run results viewer. This is the run results viewer. It's opening. Run results viewer is little slower than the HTML report because this opens in a different window with so many sub windows. So it opened up. If I expand all, I can see it says step done. It's just done, step done, step done. No pass, no fail, it's just done. Now I will be closing this one. I will also change to warning. Now if I write make warning, that will also work. If I write 3 instead of make warning, that will also work. So if I write 3 instead of this one, that will also work. So I will be for now I will be writing make warning. So I wrote make warning here. Now if I run it in the run results viewer, I will see warning. The automation script execution ends with warning. So there are 4 events: pass, fail, done, and warning. And the pass and fail I showed in HTML format, and then done and warning I showed in run results viewer format. This is run results viewer format. The page is loading. It's loaded. Now I will be expanding. And if I click here, I see it says step warning. So I send information to the report. I said that write warning. So it wrote warning, and this symbol means warning. This is warning symbol. Exclamatory symbol means warning, something unexpected, warning. So we have 4 events: pass, fail, done, and warning. I showed hands-on of all the warnings. 2 in HTML format and other 2 in run results viewer format. Since I showed hands-on example, I can mark this one that I have showed hands-on. So I change the color to blue. Blue color means I showed, the black color means I will be showing. So now I will show run status. Run status. So I will delete everything. Run status. Run status, it will return the current run. It will be return current run. Run status. And since it is a property, this hand symbol means property. This is a property, and this property, it says property also here. So it's a property. This property retrieves the run status at the current point of the run. So it will return the status. So we know there are four status or 4 events. 4 status or 4 event: pass, fail, done, and warning. Now I will be first, this is by default it is warning, so I will be storing that in a variable output. So this is a variable. This variable will store the status of the execution result, and I will be displaying in a message box. Now if I run it, it will say done, I believe, because no pass, no fail, and no warning, so therefore just execution ends with the done. It says 2. If I go here, it says 2. 2 means done. So it actually said done. Okay. Now I will be forcefully saying that it passes. Then it will also return that status into the variable. I close this one. I will be changing the report format to HTML for faster execution. So I changed that, and now I will forcefully give the status. Reporter.reportEvent, Reporter.reportEvent, make pass, UFT tutorial, and done by myself. Done by my name. So at line number 1, a status of the execution was done. Line number 2 also done. Line number 3 also done. From line number 4, it's not done anymore. It's pass. Make pass means 1. No, make pass means 0. So on line number 4, I forcefully changed the status to pass. Therefore, from line number 5 also it's a make pass, and that will come here, that will come here, but it returns not in the textual format, it returns in the integer format, so it will be returning 0. 0 means make pass, 1 means fail, 2 means done, and 3 means warning. So I changed to make pass, therefore it will return 0. And the 0 will be displayed in the message box. So if I run it, I will see 0 in the message box. It says 0. Okay. Now I will be changing to make fail. Make fail. So now also when the automation script execution starts on line number 1, status is done, 2 also done, 3 also done. In 4, it's not done anymore, it's fail. And the fails integer number is 1. So it will return 1 here. So this will return 1, that 1 will be stored in this variable, and then it will be displayed in the message box. Now if I run it, it will display 1. Displayed 1. Okay. Now I will be changing to warning. Make warning. I put make warning. So it's same thing. When the automation script execution starts on line number 1, status is done. Line number 2 also done. Line number 3 also done. Line number 4 is not done anymore. It's make warning. So and make warning's integer number is 3. Make warning's integer number is 3. So it will return 3. If you run it, it will return 3. It's 3. Okay. So I showed hands-on this property. So I will be changing the color blue, that means I showed, and then report node. This is what I will be showing. Delete everything. Dot report node. This is a method. It will add a node to the run result. And it takes only one input argument. So I will be giving the one input argument. I will say my name is MD Shahajada Imran. My name is MD Shahajada Imran. So this is just a sentence. It is a plain sentence in a string. So it is a string. So this is a node. So now if I run it, I will see the text or this string or this sentence in the result, in the HTML result for now. Now I have to check where the note is. If I go, it says notes. Here my name is MD Shahajada Imran. And also, if I run it in HTML format, this is HTML format. Now I'll be running it run results viewer format. Run results viewer format. Change the format. Now I click on OK. Now if I run it, the result I will see in the run results viewer format. There also I will see that. This is run results viewer. Run results viewer. It's loading. This circle means loading. Now it's loaded. Now that I will be expanding everything, and I have to check where the note is. Note is here. My name is MD Shahajada Imran. So now this is a string that is displayed in this note box. It's a sentence as a string displayed in the note box. So I'll be changing the format to HTML again for faster execution. This one is a little slower, take a little longer time, and this one is faster. So I changed that. And also I've changed the color to blue, that represents I have explained and gave hands-on example. Now filter. Filter means which one. There are 4 events: pass, fail, done, and warning. And filter means which one will be displayed, whether all will be displayed or none will be displayed, or pass or fail will be displayed, that info. So if I go, it says filter, click here. So it's filter value. If the filter value is 0, that means default. It represents it reports, or all reported events are displayed in the result. So whether it is pass or fail or done or warning, all will be displayed in the report. If it is 1, then only fail status will be displayed. If it is only warning or fail will be displayed. So done, pass will not be, for if it is 1, then pass will not be displayed. If it is 2, then fail will be displayed, warning and pass will not, and if it is 3, no events will be displayed. So it will not display pass, fail, or warning. It will just say automation script execution, just done, no result. So for example, if I give 2 examples, 1 and 1. So if I say 0, it will display all. So reporter dot filter equals to 0. That means I'm telling script to display all events in the result. All events in the results. All means pass or fail or done or warning. All means warning. So now if I'll be checking 4 times. Reporter dot make event, make pass, comma, UFT tutorial, UFT tutorial, and my name. So since I said telling the script to display all events, 0 means display all events, 0 means default, this is report all reported events. So pass, it will display. If I run it, it says pass. Now if the fourth one is, I'll be changing the format to viewer format. Okay. Now it says if I change to 3, then no events will be displayed. That means if I change to 3, then telling the script to display only done. So it will display only done, it will not display pass, fail or warning. So this is a pass, but it will not display, it will display as just done. It will display as done, if there is an even if it is pass or fail or warning. So whether it is pass, fail or warning doesn't matter, it will display as done. It will say that automation script execution just done, no result. So now if it is written 3, so if I run it, automation execution ends and the result is loading. The run result viewer loads slowly. So it's loading, it's loaded. Now if I expand all, I will see that it's just done. Status is just done. Though it's actually pass, but since it is forcefully said it doesn't matter pass, fail or warning, you show as done. That's 3 means. Now if I change to 1 and I say make fail, then also telling the automation script to display everything. So it will display failure. If it is pass, it will display pass. If it is fail, it will display fail. If it is 1, right? 1 or 0? Let me check. 0. If it is 0. If it is 0, so I'll be running it. Execution ends and the result is loading. It will display fail because in the filter I put filter value is 0. That means if it is pass, it will display pass. If it is fail, it will display fail. If it is warning, it will display warning. So it displayed as failed. Now if I change to 3, it will display as done. It will just say automation script execution just done. I don't know the result. So it will say done, it will not say fail. I run it again, I change to 3, the filter, I run it again, and instead of fail, even though it is actually failing, but instead of fail, it will display as done. It will say that automation script execution just done. The result we don't know, so it just said done because we have filtered it. We have said it doesn't matter it is pass, fail or warning, you display as fail as done. So I gave hands-on example of this one also, filter. Now in the HTML report, it's the same thing, a Reporter.reportEvent and HTML event. Only thing is the value we will be passing, that would be HTML. So if I say Reporter.reportHTMLevent, there are two events. One is Reporter.reportEvent, where we give input arguments in a string. There also we will give in a string, but the value would be HTML format. So it is for, I will say pass, comma, step I gave UFT tutorial, comma, and here I will give in HTML format. I will say name tag and name and name tag end. Name tag end. So only difference is instead of the actual value I'm giving a tag of HTML. So this is a tag of HTML. Now if I run it, it should display pass. And the run result is displayed as pass. This green color check mark means pass. It's loading. The page is loading. Or the run result viewer is loading, but it is loaded now. So if I'll be expanded, if I check here, it says in the detail it says my name, even though in the script I gave an HTML tag. This is a tag of HTML document. I didn't give the actual value. This is the value of this tag. The tag opens here, tag ends here, and this is the value of an HTML tag. Only difference is instead and it's a string because in double quote. So I gave a string. That string contains a tag instead of a value. So that's the difference. HTML event and the regular event. In the regular event we don't give tag. In HTML event we give tag and actual value is displayed in the report. So even though I gave tag here, the actual value displayed here. So that's the difference. And then all the other things are same. It has the 4 event, pass, fail, done and warning. If I change to fail, or even if I say 1, it will report failure. Run it again. It says failure. Page is loading. In the meantime, I go here and say one means failure. So I can either write make fail or I can also write 1. So this time I wrote 1, and the report also said fail. And only difference between the reporter event and report event and report HTML event, that here we give a tag instead of HTML tag instead of actual value. So I gave hands-on example of all the methods and properties of this reporter utility object. So here is the conclusion. I gave hands-on example of all the methods and properties of a reporter utility object, as well as all the prerequisites that we need to understand before we study or try to understand reporter utility object. So that's all about this video tutorial, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.